Welcome to another edition of the Stack3d Podcast, where we run down all of the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past week. And I will apologize as last week's episode didn't actually make it to YouTube, but it was recorded. We did one and I basically put the file in for audio and then I overwrote the video file for YouTube and we were left without a YouTube video. So the podcast did go live. You'll have to catch it over on podcasting platforms like SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify and all that, but it was done. Obviously the news kept rolling over on the site, and the biggest announcement of last week was the winner of this year's Clash of the Cans. Clash of the Cans being our energy drink showdown, where we take sort of the most popular energy drinks out there, put them head to head, group on group, to find out the biggest one. The winner was none other than the winner of our Protein Wars competition, RYSE, who obviously has only been around for not even a year in the energy drink space. RYSE Fuel came around this time last year, I think is when it hit the market. So it didn't qualify for last year's Clash of the Cans, but it was in there this year and did so well. Obviously it took home the title, becoming the youngest energy drink to win the competition. But of course, when you have RYSE itself has been around for a while, so it wasn't exactly the energy drink that purely provided 100% of the votes. They have a big following, obviously winning Protein Wars as well. So they kind of have shown that when they need their fans, they can call on them, and they definitely did. But yeah, that was how it shaped out. It was C4 Energy, our first ever Clash of the Cans champion, taking on RYSE Fuel, and RYSE Fuel came out on top. Altogether, I think it was 100,000 votes or something around 100,000. I know we broke into the six figures, so it might have been 100,001, 100,001, 1,000 or something like that. It was pretty much around there, so it was a big deal, really big, as we expected this year with all of the newcomers to the category. We had a feeling they were going to bring some new energy, some new size, and it sure as hell did. So it was a big contest, fun as always, and we thank absolutely everyone for taking their time and voting. I know it's not easy to just stop your day, head to clashofthecans.com and submit a vote. I'm not being sarcastic there. I appreciate people taking any time out of their day, whether it be 5 seconds or 5 minutes. It was big. And I appreciate everyone for taking the time, and we look forward to doing this all again next year. And look out on social media, as RYSE will be getting their trophy shortly, and it's a special edition one. So usually it is this one here. We've got the it's like heavy as hell, like I said, 5 pounds, 6 pounds. It's like a gold finish, and it is cast in bronze or iron or something, and so no can looks exactly the same. It is replicated after a 16-ounce energy drink. So pretty cool little can, obviously the logo on the front. There's typically a black base that goes with this. This year we changed the color, so it's a silver up top and a white base. Very nice little mix. I haven't actually seen it myself, but they showed us examples of the finish, the silver finish and then the white base, and I thought, what better way to do it though, because this year was the 5th time we've run it. So 5th anniversary, thought we'd do something cool, and we did. We always do our best to do it, if at the very least we do things cool. And we actually have our Stacked Supplement Expo coming up, and we'll be calling on everyone's support again for that. So you'll just be able to, when that goes live July 17th, you'll be able to visit that at stackedexpo.com. Go through everything, check out every brand, check out all the displays and exhibits people have brought to the show, the giveaways, the deals, the discounts, the announcements, the exclusives, everything. Check it all out. Spend an hour there, spend 3 hours there, leave your phone there, come back to it, whatever you want to do. All we ask is that you visit it, explore it, and appreciate what we've done here and what we're trying to achieve by bringing that physical expo experience to any device anywhere in the world. And of course, as I've alluded to previously, we'll be announcing our big development, one of the biggest announcements in Stacked history. Is it the biggest? I think it's one of the biggest at the least. It might be the biggest. I don't really know how to measure that. But it's something you'll be wanting to check out on. We'll have a video and all this stuff announcing it on the day as well. We can't actually do teasers. I'm thinking of doing a teaser, but the problem is that any kind of teaser hint, you're going to know exactly what's happening. And so we don't want to let the cat out of the bag too soon. And yeah, so stay tuned. There might be teasers, there might not. But you're not going to want to miss this either way. But yeah, so we're going to shoot over to our regular lineup of events, and we're going to go over all the top stories on the website. And there was a lot. Last week, Apollon did what it usually does, and it has revamped one of its pre-workouts, specifically its stimulant-free pump-powering pre-workout, Bloodsport. So this is different from Bare Knuckle, which is a stimulant-free pre-workout from the brand that's been around for quite some time. Bare Knuckle is more of a comprehensive approach to a stim-free pre-workout. So yes, it has ingredients for pumps, but it also has things for performance and focus. Again, so if you just want something without stims, Bare Knuckle's a pretty solid choice because it gives you everything you can typically get in a stimulant pre-workout just without the stims for energy. This new one, Bloodsport, is more geared towards pump, which is a traditional approach to stimulant-free pre-workouts. Most brands do these because you can focus specifically on pumps and then you can stack it with your stim pre-workout. So yeah, Bloodsport has been revamped, and they didn't really make too many changes. They didn't. In the past, we've seen some drastic moves and shifts from Apollon, but they didn't overly revamp it too much. So they made enough tweaks to make it noticeable. So pretty much, I believe everything's exactly the same, bar 2 ingredients. So you still get citrulline, arginine, NO3T, arginine nitrate, taurine, vasodrive, Himalayan pink salt, grapeseed, and estrogen. Estrogen's still at 50, Himalayan pink salt at half a gram, taurine at 2, and the NO3T nitrates at 3 grams. Now where the changes come in is the citrulline has been bumped up to 10 grams, which is an absolutely huge amount. Like, of course, it's a huge amount. 10 grams is no joke. I think the most we've ever seen might have been 11 or 12. I think it was 12, to be honest. I think I might have seen 2 with 12. And then they've also bumped up to the vasodrive, typically seen at 508 milligrams, sometimes 256, and then 508 in the maximum serving. These guys have bumped it up to 1,016, so it is precisely double the 508, which is double the 254, which you also see quite a bit of. Basically, you can't go wrong. Same price, same value, same amount of servings, 20 maximum servings per tub. I mean, you literally can't go wrong. When you change absolutely nothing and then only increase a couple dosages, it's all in all, it's a better product. So that one's out now. I think we announced the changes on Monday, then the product went live on Friday, and you can pick it up from retailers, or Apollon's already got it on its online store. And so yeah, pretty solid supplement on that side of things. Next, we go over to Optimum Nutrition. So if you follow Stack at all, read some of the stuff, which we hope you do when you do daily, hourly, minutely. We cover news from all over the world. It's not specifically North America, even though the US and Canada are some of the busiest parts of the world, if not the busiest. We share a lot of news. We get a lot of requests from the UK, Europe, Asia, Australasia, everywhere pretty much. And in different parts of the world, brands that you know good and well from the US have different lineups. Optimum Nutrition is one of those. So MuscleTech's another one. Cellucor's another one. They have different versions in different parts of the world to fit with the different regulations. Optimum Nutrition also has different supplements entirely. So you'll get products that are in Australia and like likes of Europe that you just won't find anywhere else. Optimum Nutrition just launched another one of those in the UK, specifically called Clear Protein. Now this makes sense because so Clear, what we call clear and refreshing protein powders that have a fruity taste rather than the typical like chocolate, vanilla, and cookies. The clear refreshing approach has been around for some time. I think one of the first, obviously Isopure, I think is one of the first that I ever remember doing it. But I think it was roughly when Dymatize did it, was IsoClear, I think was the name. And it just took off. Like it was just, they did it, and then a few months later, another one did it, and it was just, the ball kept rolling. Now it stopped rolling as frequently in the US, but then in the UK and Europe, it's been brand after brand after brand, and it hasn't stopped. A lot of brands do it, a lot of brands still add in it. Optimum Nutrition just jumped on the train with the Clear Protein, and it is fairly straightforward. Most of the clear fruity protein powders in that part of the world, it's a hydrolyzed whey isolate powered product. You get 20 grams of protein per serving, all from, it's not whey, that's right. Almost slipped up there. It's powered by hydrolyzed pea isolate. So it's a vegan-friendly formula, plant-based formula, not the traditional way. So you get 20 grams of protein per serving, under a gram of carbs, half a gram of fat, and a lean calorie count of 90. Can't really go wrong with that in terms of nutrition. And as I said, this trend of refreshing fruit-flavored protein powders, it only comes in fruity taste, no chocolate, no vanilla, cookies, or peanut butter. And those flavors are peach and lemon lime. So that one's out now. The only thing I was surprised about, I mean, of course, as I said, with the plant-based approach, typically it is hydrolyzed Y isolate. In this case, it's hydrolyzed P isolate, was the value. So each tub of this cost £24.99. So that's 25 pounds works out like around 31 US. That's not a bad price. The size is what makes it a little bit off. So the price of that is 25 pounds, 32 US, give or take. And you get, 10 servings. So on the back, I think on the label it might say 20, but on that 20 you get 10 grams of protein. So you want to double it to the 20, more traditional 20 grams of protein. And if you do that, you get 10 servings for 25 pounds. That is it's a very big price. It's a very expensive cost per serving, basically. It's less than the 25 grams we see in regular whey isolates, just like regular whey proteins in general. And you only get 10 servings per tub. So cool little twist with the fruity trend, bringing over to the plant protein trend. But that value is pretty competitive. And I mean, to be honest, I don't think there are many out there that do this approach either. So while I'm saying it's not as competitive as something like a regular plant-based protein or even a traditional whey isolate, the price, this is a hydrolyzed plant-based protein powder, so it does fall into a specialty category. And the only ones that come to mind that I think that are doing that sort of clear, refreshing taste on a hydrolyzed plant protein might be My Protein. I know they have a clear vegan, but I don't know what the source, I can't remember the sources. So it is quite pricey compared to regulars, but it's probably, if you're specifically wanting hydrolyzed P isolate protein powder, not in chocolate and vanilla, and you want that fruity twist, this is probably one of the few, if not the only option that really comes to mind. Check that one out. As of course, anything I say on here, go to stack.com or stack3d.com, as people like to say, and just search it. It'll be there. You can sort by latest now as well, which is a feature we added. Also, another feature that I might just bring up now, we basically built it, we just need to put it somewhere. If you visit the site, so you may have noticed not that long ago, we introduced basically a feature specifically for those who keep visiting the site. So if you go to the site today and you come back tomorrow, it'll show you in a little red tab how many posts have been shared since you last visited. It's a nice little twist, very easy to implement, and a cool way for you to make sure you don't miss out on anything. Another twist that we've just finished and probably going to add shortly is a recommended section. So basically, if you visit the site, check out this, check out that, the next time you've come, after you've basically viewed a certain amount of pages, you will be recommended stories based on what you've seen previously. So obviously that's not going to work if you're only visiting the site once or come back in a month. If you visit it day to day, there'll be a little section that pops up when you scroll moving forward that'll have a recommended thing. So let's just say you checked out pre-workouts, for example. It's going to recommend some pre-workouts that you might have missed or you might not have seen. We're going to tweak it as we go to make sure it gets everything right, but it's a pretty cool little twist. The goal being that you get more things, make sure you don't miss out anything, make sure you recommended some good stuff and stuff like that, and it's specifically for people that come back frequently, and it's not going to be like a login process that takes your viewership from the pages you visited and then throws you the recommended stuff. So yeah, it'll get better as we go. Cool little feature. We just need to figure out where it's going to go in and around everything else that's already on the main page. Next up, we're going to shoot over to Build Fast Formula, who, if you're a fan of this brand, and I've always been a fan of this brand, they make some good stuff, but if you are a diehard fan, you will have been through on a bit of a roller coaster these past few months. For those that haven't seen what's happened, last year they announced they were clearing out all their remaining stock and they were closing their doors. They said they were done, they were finished. Build Fast formula has come to an end, and they made the difficult decision to close up, and that was it. We were like, this is tough to see, because I mean, Stack's been around for 12 years, give or take now, but it's very tough to see when these brands, burst out, go big, and then things like this happen. It's it's kind of like the birth of a child. Like, I was there for the launch. I wasn't connected like a child, but I was there for the launch, and then I was there for the down, and it was a bit rough. But like I said, people were taken through a roller coaster of emotions, because earlier this year, Build Fast formula announced that it was coming back. It was back in full force. All the supplements returned, same formulas, reliable effectiveness brought back to life. It was fantastic news for fans that obviously found out that their brand was going away. And it was, like I said, a roller coaster, because it wasn't too long after they disappeared or were announced the discontinuation that Clear, give them the shock, they're back to life. And the news this past week was that they get a new look. And this look is pretty drastic. I see a lot of rebrands, I see a lot of tweaks and changes to appearances and all that. This is pretty big, this is a bit different. So if you go to the site, you can look it up and you see it for yourself. Type in Build Fast formula, or even just Build Fast rebrand. They've gone from that traditional dark, edgy, gritty, very granite, very steel, very, I don't know, it's got the vibe of some other brands, but they've transitioned away from that mostly dark grey black with a touch of blue to an extremely colourful blue, yellow, and mostly baby blue and yellow design that's very comic book inspired. It has like the little dots on it, like you see in a couple of the prints in comic books and stuff like that. A lot of the bursts and I guess the pop-ups and call-outs. It's got a lot of graphical features familiar of like a comic book or a news strip or stuff like that. And yeah, they've rebranded the entire lineup. Every supplement available has been changed to this look. And it's a big change. It's a big twist. Like, if you didn't have the names attached and you had someone else's name on these products, and you had them beside each other on shelf, the old look versus the new look, I don't think you would think it's the same brand. Even I wouldn't think it's the same brand. It's that big of a change. It's not a bad thing. I mean, like I said, the brand discontinued at the end of last year. Then it was brought back to life, magically brought back to life. And now it's taken on a new look, a new feel, a new vibe. But do note that all of the formulas, much like when it was resurrected, are remaining the same. So the appearance is changing, but nothing on the inside. So if you liked Vasoblitz for its intense pump powering benefits, you are still getting all of that in this rebrand. Same with the protein powder, same with the stem pre-workout, they're all the same. It's just the look. So don't fear if you're worried about losing out on those results and those benefits. They're still sticking there. It's just entirely the look that's changed for now. The next story we're going to go to is the guys over at Ekkovision. So Ekkovision is a beast, winner of our Newcomer of the Year award from last year. They're literally non-stop. There's not a week goes by, or even at least 2 weeks go by, they don't have something fun and cool to share. Last week was no different. They announced a new nootropic approach, a new approach to the nootropic category. So Ekkovision has been in the nootropic space previously. They've had a nootropic competitor onto the market. I believe it was called Illuminate, but it was stim-free. Not that it's a bad thing, but it is a key point, because a lot of these nootropics generally come with caffeine. I prefer the stim-free ones purely because you can mix them with your own source of energy, whether it be an energy drink, caffeinated, whatever. It just allows you to stack it easier, and it allows you to stack it to your liking. Some formulas are fantastic with dosages and stuff like that, especially nootropics. But if it's not, like if the caffeine isn't to your liking, let's just say it's 500 milligrams, and that's too much for you, or it's 100 milligrams, that's not enough. You can't tailor the caffeine and get the full benefits of the other ingredients without changing the caffeine amount. So it is easier for stimulant-free. But yeah, so Ekkovision came out with Illuminate last year, stimulant-free nootropic. Now they've come out with a product called Ekko Nootropic. This is intended to be the replacement to Illuminate, and it does have caffeine source in it. But they've drastically revamped this thing. There are some things in common with the original Illuminate. It's not really even an original, it's a different name and different approach, but it is a stronger competitor for the space. I'm just going to run over the formula for you quickly. So each serving, and do note, so I'll go off the double dose. I like to go off the maximum dose. So they have in each serving of this, in each bottle comes 50 servings. Generally, if it gets over 40 plus, I consider that to be sort of a split thing. So if you give me the dose on per serving and it's 40 servings, I'm going to double it because I'm thinking that you want to give me 20. Same with if it's 25, 50, even 30, 60, I'm going to think that you want to give me, to get the good deal, the good effects, you want 30 servings. I'm going to double it. So Ekkovision has 50 servings per tub, 5 capsules a piece. So I divide that to 25 servings. And they do say you can have this high amount. So in that double serving, which is 10 capsules by the way, you get 2 grams of tyrosine, a gram of lion's mane, 600 of rhodiola, another 600 of alpha GPC, and another 600 of acetylcholine, 200 milligrams of cognatic, or the original previously called neurofactor, which is a pretty high dose because typically you see that at around 100. And then you've got 150 caffeine, 100 milligrams of saffron, and 100 milligrams of theanine. I should also add there's 152 milligrams of dicaffeine malate, but that is, so it's 75%. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. That's 120, I think. 120, is that right? 25%. Something like 115, 110. Brings the caffeine down to 260. So combine the dicaffeine malate with the caffeine anhydrous, gives you 260 per serving. So it's a little more than the 200 I like for Nootropic, but it's not bad. And again, it's that half of that's dicaffeine malate, or a little less than half of that's dicaffeine malate. So it's an extended release, as opposed to the more immediate benefits of caffeine anhydrous. You can check that one out per usual on the site. It is live on their own website as well, and you can check that out for yourself. The next 3 we have, I'm just rolling through to make sure we cover all of the important ones before I run out of time, which we can do. So the next 3 we have is actually from eFlow and Relentless Labs. I'm not entirely sure if we've touched on this before on this podcast, but so inter-brand collaborations. So we've got authentic collaborations where you get a brand trying to bring an authentic flavor to a product. Warheads, Oreo, Chips Ahoy. Then you've got, I guess, some just general collabs where you've got a company partnering with a video game, making something up, like a flavor that's not necessarily related, but themed around a collab. Then you get inter-brand collabs. First one was Inspired and Black Market, if I'm not mistaken. Then we got some other big ones since then with Raw and Ghost. And now we've got eFlow and Relentless Labs. Now they've revealed what their product is. They still haven't said what's in it. I believe that's coming shortly because I think the product itself is launching on July 4th, or 4th of July, Independence Day. And all we know right now is that it is a pre-workout, which is what I suspected, purely because every collaboration we've seen, whether we're talking Ghost and Raw, Inspired and Black Market, Panda and Apollon, Black Market and Panda, they've all been pre-workouts. That is the case with this one. So eFlow and Relentless Labs have created a product called Activate Enrage. And this is very similar to what Inspired and Black Market did with the first collab, was that they blended their 2 pre-workouts. So they created, I believe it was Devastate Stim, Devastate being the signature name for Inspired's pre-workouts, and then Stim being one of the many names Black Market has for its pre-workouts. And eFlow and Relentless Labs have done the same. Activate is the name of Relentless Labs' flagship pre-workout, and then Enrage is that of eFlow's. Again, I don't know what's in it. I'm gathering a comprehensive blend of ingredients. This isn't turned into a series. It's a limited edition launch, and it does promote extreme energy, focus. I think it was performance was on the list as well. It's a very comprehensive supplement. It's got a 15 gram serving size, so plenty of room to make an impact. When you get below 10 grams, you don't really have enough room to do a whole lot of fun stuff, but 15 grams, plenty of room for some good dosages, and we'll be sharing the formula shortly. So stay tuned for that. We'll have details on it in the near future. The next story we're going to go to is the Bodyarmor. Bodyarmor is, so the hydration space has seen a huge rise in popularity. And I just mean the hydration category as a whole. So basically we've seen hydration supplements, hydration beverages, stick packs, capsules even, beverages, it's relentless. No pun intended. But Bodyarmor, so there are plenty of companies that have been in hydration long before this surge in popularity. Bodyarmor being one of them. One of the biggest, in fact, available all over the place. And they do have many different beverages. But when you get this surge in interest or in surge in popularity, especially if it comes from competition, so when you get several new entries, guys that were already in it, start making changes, start trying to do things differently to keep up, like you would anything. If you see someone, if you're in a race and then someone shoots past you and they're doing, I don't know, some sort of technique, you might be encouraged to try it, see if you can keep up, especially if they're blitzing you. And it's just natural. And you saw it with energy drinks when Bang came on the rise, and C4 came about, several other sports nutrition brands brought together advanced formulas in the carbonated format. And so no surprise, Bodyarmor's trying to keep up. I wouldn't say keep up, just trying to push more innovation. And so they've created a product called Bodyarmor Flash IV. Now this is from my understanding, the most loaded hydration drink from Bodyarmor. It proudly promotes 2.29 grams of electrolytes, which is huge compared to its other offerings. And that's in a 20-ounce bottle as well. So this isn't the signature Bodyarmor drink, I forget the name of it, Superior Hydration. That has a 20-ounce or 28-ounce. I think there might be a 16-ounce. None of them come close to the 2.29 grams in Flash IV, and the carbohydrates are low too. So I wouldn't say it's I don't really know how it works out, but a lot of hydration beverages in the past have also been pretty high in carbohydrates and sugar. And with sports nutrition companies getting in, that's kind of been one of the things they've been pushing, is give you all these electrolytes, but not give you the sugar and high carbs that some people might be used to. And so Bodyarmor hasn't kept it minimal, hasn't kept it like ridiculously low. There's still a good amount of carbs in this one. That's not a bad thing if you're talking intra-workout, exercise, carbs for those situations aren't bad. But so you get, I think it's Flash IV has 16 grams, 15 grams of that sugar for a total of 80 calories, whereas the 16-ounce version of Superior Hydration, which is smaller, 20% smaller than, not even that, 20%, just 20% smaller. So that's 20% smaller than the Flash IV. That still has 21 grams of carbs, or 21 grams of sugar, 21 grams of carbs, all of it is sugar. So that is still higher than the 16 that you get in Flash IV, despite the size difference. So they've definitely made an effort to push the carbs, push the electrolytes up, keep the carbs down. And that seems to be the key point of that. So basically a more premium offering, a more sports nutrition offering, a lot more electrolytes for more hydration performance, and then lower carbohydrates for a more nutritionally friendly product. And that's with 6 flavors. So there are 6 in total, all fruity flavors: strawberry, kiwi, grape, fruit punch, orange, cucumber, lime, and tropical punch. You can check them out on the site. I wasn't able to find out where they're launching this or when. I'm assuming they'll be everywhere, and I'm assuming they'll be available shortly. I can't imagine them announcing it now and launching it all December. That does seem odd. Maybe they're just dropping a few. There was a listing on Amazon, but I didn't see all of the flavors. But basically, details are out there now, so look forward for it. Look forward to seeing it soon-ish, and you get a better look on it all on the website. The last story we have to round out the episode is inspired. So last week, and I remember this one, last week's podcast, we discussed the incredibly reputable DVST8 family of pre-workouts from Inspired. DVST8 was what put Inspired on the map. It is known for some ridiculously loaded pre-workouts, and it has always done that. It's pumped out many of these pre-workouts over the years. I would say all of them have landed in our list of top 5 pre-workouts. Some of them, or a lot of them, have put it in number 1. In fact, back when we used to do top 10 pre-workouts instead of top 5, it just got annoying trying to do 10, so we dropped it to 5. But back then, DVST8 actually had 2 products on the list. DVST8, I think it was White Cut, or maybe, I'm pretty sure it was White Cut, White Diamond, one of those. And then they had DVST8 Crimson, which was an alternative higher stimulant experience, but that also landed on our list of top 10 pre-workouts. Again, we only have 5 now, but that just goes to show that they aren't slouches when it comes to pre-workouts. They are beasts. They are very damn good at making a solid pre-workout. And I said this last week, that even if you see something on paper that looks fairly typical, always expect a little bit more. Whether it's the manufacturing, ingredient quality, typically it's just the synergy, or maybe everything all rolled in one. They tend to deliver better than you'd expect, regardless of how much you've tried the combination that's in there. Prepare for something a little bit extra. Always leave room to experience a little bit extra. Inspired is just known for that. And so the formula for the next DVST8 pre-workout was dropped last week. The product's called DVST8 Dark. It'll be out and available shortly. And there are 2 versions. This is going to take a little while to go over. So the core version, basically, is what you're going to get in 3 flavors. I believe those flavors are Blue Dream, Forbidden Fruit, and Malibu Breeze. Now the ingredients, this is why I'm going to have to bring the phone up close to my face, because they stack these things out. So on my screen, the words are a little smaller. In a full serving, you get, I'm going to breathe in, you get 150 milligrams of Neurocap skullcap extract, 150 milligrams of Synapsis, 100 milligrams of luciferine lotus leaf, and then 100 milligrams of Infinity dicaffeine malate. This is on top of 325 caffeine anhydrous, and so all of that is for a nice intense energy. And that combined, the caffeine sources combined, I think for 400, I believe it might be 400 milligrams of caffeine. Next to that, you've got a blend of electrolytes, including sea salt as a source for hydration and performance. You've then got the focusing components in a gram of tyrosine, 500 milligrams of a choline blend, which is divided up between acetylcholine and alpha GPC, 500 milligrams of DMAE, that's all for the focus side. And then for the pumps and performance, you've got 3.2 beta-alanine, so traditional dose there. Theobromine at 50 milligrams, naringin at 20, 2 grams of NO3T premium arginine nitrate, and then we put this on the site as devilish, but that was more of a play on words. So the dose of pure citrulline to power the pump side is 6,666 milligrams. Obviously a twist on the whole 666 devil thing. But as I said, there are actually 2 versions, and so there's another version, and this version you'll only be able to get in the Kill Aid flavor, which is a partnership with their ambassador Kayla. And yeah, so this version is very much the same, but there are a couple of twists. So there isn't any, I believe the one they removed was the nitrates, and there's a little bit extra in the stimulant department. So the nitrates aren't in there. However, you do get 1.5 grams of carnitine, 20 milligrams of lean GBB to just blow up the sweat side of things, and then you've got a milligram of yohimbine and a milligram of alpha yohimbine. So it is very much like it's kind of like a hybrid fat burning approach, but then the yohimbines will also add like a nice little kick. It's sort of like a hybrid fat burning pre-workout with, I guess, all of the same features as the regular one. So with the intensity, the pumps, and the performance minus the nitrates, and the focus with the yohimbine to help add a bit of a kick, and then you got the carnitine and GBB, which will help elevate the metabolism and thermogenic side of the supplement. So all in all, I like the original. I'm a big fan of nitrates, always been a big fan of nitrates, love pumps, love a comprehensive experience. And I kind of prefer that over like a hybrid approach. But I do like what they did here. I do like that they made this something special, something different, kind of 2 birds, 1 stone. And it's just a flavor that's exclusive. So it's not like you can get, I don't know, this product's called DVST8 Dark, and it's this formula, and then you got to get Devastate Burn to get this formula. They've just called it Devastate Dark and made one flavor this sort of thermogenic enhanced approach. So very cool, very cool spin, very typical of Inspired. They know what to do, they know how to do things differently. And yeah, you can check that out in detail on the site. As always, just look up Devastate Dark. You might actually be able to Google it and see us in there anyway. And in fact, I think it's on the featured section. So at the top of the site, we always put posts that we think you just need to see. That's what that section is. There's no label on it. I like to think that it's very obvious that these are things you don't want to miss. And Devastate Dark, I believe, is still sitting in there. And that one's going to launch soon. We'll have details on where you can buy it and how to get it. And then obviously, Inspired is also going to be an exhibitor at the upcoming Stack3d Expo, and I think they might be working Devastate Dark into there as well. But yeah, that'll do it for this week. I'm going to make extra effort to make sure I don't mess this up and make sure it's on YouTube and the audio side of things. And we do also have a podcast interview lined up for this Wednesday with the one and only Robert from Apollon Nutrition. And yeah, thank you for taking the time as per usual. Appreciate you listening and look forward to having you back next time.